Hey everyone, and welcome to my guide on a budget Dclone killer build. It's a kick assassin, pure physical version of the kick assassin. I will briefly go over gear, stat points, and the skill tree. This setup costs you around 2 runes. Depending on what time you level this character in the season, this gets even cheaper. You can get this like in the middle of the season for around 1 ist. Let's start with the gear, since most people are probably interested in the items first. So get a Flash Ripper, all the offensive stats you want. Most importantly, the stat prevent monster heal, also slows target by 20%, is pretty useful against bosses. Put a shell rune in there or put an rune in there for even more minus target defense, that's up to you. I actually don't think the shell rune does anything breakpoint wise, but I put one in there anyways. Get a G-Face. It's like most people are familiar with this helmet. It's probably the best and overpowered melee helmet in the entire game. Costs next to nothing. You can already wear this in with level 34. Since the Uber bosses have a way higher level than you. For Dclone, I don't know exactly, but for the Uber bosses who drop a torch, right? I think they are level 110. Yeah, to get the attack rating going, we just use an angelic combo. This is pretty cheap. You probably find this on your own while playing the campaign. I'm running a Nephilim armor in a Dusk Shroud. Yeah, this armor is it's for free. It's basically for free. It's not hard to find a Neph and a Lum, right? Buy a Storm Shield. The main reason is the physical damage reduce. In addition to Fate, which I'm going to talk about later a little bit more when we go over the skill tree, you are granted the max physical damage reduce, which is 50%. And we run max block on this build. Get Goblin Toe. They are way cheaper early in the season than Gore Rider. You can run Gore Rider as well, especially if you want to farm keys as well. But for like soul purpose, for soul budget purpose reasons, get Goblin Toe. You gotta upgrade them twice with a cube recipe. I will add a little clip at the end of this video so you can see what the recipe is exactly, because I don't even remember. Get the T-Gods. It adds a lot of damage, flat lightning damage. It helps with strength requirements of your gear. And most importantly, it has 20 lightning absorb. If you want to fight Mephisto and get a torch, this is the belt you want to use. Get any Ravenfrost, stats don't matter. It's just here for cannot be frozen. Like really, like for budget reasons, buy the worst possible roll. Dracus, quite similar to Ravenfrost. The only reason I'm wearing this is the level 10 life tap proc. Get the worst possible roll again. Don't spend too much on those gloves. I will quickly talk about the price of each individual piece so you don't get scammed when you want to trade for this. I'm talking about early ladder prices like day 2. An Istrune for the gloves. 2 PGMs, like 2 perfect amethysts, or a lem or a pull for the weapon. Same for the helm, like some Ral runes, a Ko rune, a lem rune. Don't spend more than a lem. Like a pull rune is already too expensive. Try to get it for PGMs. Armor for free. The base, well, I found it in the cow level while leveling process and early farming. I would not spend, like, it's just a 2-socket armor, man. Like, believe me, you're gonna find one. I've paid another Istrune for the Ravenfrost, which is way too much. You're probably gonna buy one for an Amrune, depending on when I upload this video. Prices are already settled. I paid a Lemrune for the belt. I paid nothing for the Angelic combo. I found them while I played the Truth the campaign. I paid 2 Amrunes for the shield. And I paid, like, I think 1 amethyst or 2 amethysts for the boots. That's the setup. That's enough to kill Dclone. And probably Ubers as well. For the real Ubers, I personally use a CTA, but it's a budget Dclone killer build. So for Dclone itself, you don't I repeat, you don't need Call to Arms for Diablo clone. A 1 to 2 ist setup, like I showcase here, is enough to kill Diablo clone, alright? Inventory, don't even worry about the inventory. You can drop all this, and with Fade On, which brings me to the skill tree, you have all resist. You have all resist and you have max physical reduce. Skill tree. Dragon Talon is your main attack. 20 points into Dragon Talon. 1 point into Dragon Flight. That's the mobility skill. You can teleport around as long as there is an enemy nearby. Onto the Shadow Discipline tree. You put 20 points into Fate. It grants 65% all resist with a click of a button. 20 points into Venom. It prevents monsters even more from healing and adds, in my case, 450 to 470 poison damage onto your kick. It does not show up, but it works. You put 1 point into Cloak of Shadow. You don't need a point into Mind Blast. This is totally up to you. Me personally, I messed up while respeccing. Don't put a point in here. It's pretty useless for this build. But Cloak of Shadow, however, is pretty good. All the remaining points into Death Sentry. You max Death Sentry, alright? This is your AoE ability, even though you're a single target boss killer. This just blows up an entire room. Let's say you're going to get a torch and you go to Andaria, or like rather Lilith, excuse me. And there's like 3 champion packs within the room. Death Sentry is taking care of them. You put all the remaining points, like not all the remaining points, but you put enough points into Fire Blast in order to get 7 shots out of Death Sentry. With this skill tree, and granted you did all the skill quests in each difficulty, normal, nightmare, and hell mode, you are exactly level 85 and you are fully specced into this. You can do Dclone with this, you can do Ubers with this. Yeah, I will add some footage at the end of this so you can see how this actually performs, and also I will add a little clip how the boot recipe is, right, to upgrade the boots, because you need, since this is our weapon, you want an elite version weapon, right? And you need the highest possible version. In this case, it's mirror boots. Like Gore Rider are Gore Rider are already an exceptional unique, so you would only you have to upgrade Gore Rider once. Goblin Toe is when you find them, they are for around level 24 or something. They are a normal unique, so in order to get them to the highest version of it, you need to upgrade them twice, from normal to exceptional and from exceptional to elite. But yeah, no worries, I will add a little clip and you see the cube recipe. Stat points. Enough strength in order to wear your gear. You can strength bug it a little bit, since most of the pieces got strength on them. So 156 strength for a Monarch gets a little bit cheaper. You put enough points into Dex to reach max block, which is 75%. I highly recommend max block, but you do you. All the remaining points into Vitality. Mercenary, you don't need a mercenary. I'm using a Might Mercenary right now with a Reaper's Toll and one of the new rune words, which grants a cleansing aura. I will talk about real quick about key farming. Like, this build is very, very good to farm up keys. You farm Countess keys and you farm Nilata keys. Most importantly, Nilata keys, they have the most value early on in the ladder, since a lot of people start the class which can struggle to kill Nilatak. So you farm Nilatak keys like crazy and trade for the other keys. Best case scenario, you give 1 destruction key and you receive like 2 hate keys. Don't even bother farming Act 2 keys, it takes way too long. You farm Nilatak and you farm Countess, that's all you do. But you run a little bit slow, right? We gotta change this. You can change 2 items, especially for key farming. I recommend you buy Azorath. It's super cheap, cost me like a Lem rune, and it adds like 500 magic damage and 500 cold damage, which again won't show up in the sheet, but it works. This melts physical immunes. You will see in the footage I provide. It melts Nil attack, like it's almost... This weapon is just too good for a Lem rune. Also, you want to run a little bit faster. You can use an Act 1 mercenary. Give him a Harmony Bow, which grants a level 10 Vigor Aura. And now new in Season 3, you make a rune word called Hustle, which grants nothing less than 65% faster run walk. Pretty bonkers, man. Look how fast I am. It's insane. It took me 7 hours of farming keys, and I was able to get 3 torches. So 3 key sets, 3 3x3 key sets, took me around 7 hours to farm up with a character who does not have teleport. So there's that. Get Hustle, get Azarath if you want to farm keys. The Dclone setup again. Just switch those 2 pieces. Just switch those 2 pieces, alright? Short side note on the kick. Certain stats work, some stats don't work with the kick, alright? I tell you now which do not work. Deadly Strike does not work with the kick. Max damage does not work with the kick. Enhanced damage on your weapon does nothing for the kick. However, enhanced damage on the armor does work. Yes, it works. Enhanced damage tool in your helm or fortitude, 300% ED fortitude, it does work. Alright? Yeah, with that being said, oh yeah, inventory, you know what? I show you some possible gear upgrades, alright? Let's say, boom, jackpot, it's day 3 of the ladder, and you get a torch, and it's a sorcerer's torch. Congratulations, you sell this for a burr rune, you split the burr rune in whatever runes, and you go on a little shopping spree. I show you some possible upgrades. Spoiler, there are not many upgrades. There are not many upgrades to this build. The first thing I would buy is a metal grid. Get rid of the angelic combo, buy a metal grid and whatever ring. In my case, it's you don't need a attack rating crazy dual lich ring like this. Just get a second Ravenfrost or a dwarf star or whatever, really, whatever. But yeah, this is the first item I would recommend to you buying. Try to get a good roll. Try to get a decent roll, attack rating as well as resistances. The reason being I prefer this is as soon as you wear Metal Grid, you can kill players 2 Uber Trist. If you can kill players 2 Uber Trist, you can easily provide Uber service, which allows you to make quick bank with this build, with this character, alright? Let's say, hey man, I'm gonna kill your Ubers. I want an ist or 3 keys for it. People will give you 3 keys. So in other words, you help others 3 times. You can get a torch for free for yourself, basically. The next upgrade would be Stormlash. It's probably the best slot weapon for this build. It grants static field proc. If you put a shell rune in there, you have plenty of attack speed. It adds flat lightning damage, which again won't show up, but it does work, so this melts physical immunes as well. You got the lightning absorb, which helps for Mephisto in Uber Trist. You get the crushing blow, like you have everything you want for this build in one weapon. These 2 are the upgrades. For the armor, I recommend Duress. Like you don't wear smoke forever. At a certain point, you just make a Duress. It has flat cold damage, which again won't show up, but it works. You easily reach a nice hit recovery breakpoint, which is, I think the first is 48 and the second is 86, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, you easily hit a good breakpoint, a fast hit recovery breakpoint with this. It has again crushing blow, open wounds and resistances. Overall, in my opinion, the best armor. Of course, you can use Enigma if you want to just teleport around and stuff, but yeah. Another upgrade would be Rune over a diamond in the shield. You want I always look for attack rating, flat lightning damage, jewel in the helmet. You can socket here whatever you want. as long as it's not max damage, because as I mentioned previously, it does not work with the kick. You get Gore Rider. You don't need Goblin Toes no more. You have enough Crushing Blow with this setup at a certain point, just for the extra run walk. Inventory-wise, martial arts skill with life are decent. I think attack rating life grand charms are better. They are super cheap within the trading community. Almost no other builds is using this, so try to get your attack rating as high as possible. Of course, get an Assassin Torch, get an Annie. Again, attack rating, life, resistances, and yeah. Speaking of upgrades, a Call to Arms, of course, and a Spirit Shield for 2 extra points, for 2 extra points to your battle order. Mercenary. Oh, look at this. I don't even have one. Oh yeah, get a Demon Limb. Sooner or later you will find a Demon Limb. They are pretty common to find. It's just 3 attack rating, right? Look at my attack rating now. Like around 5k free attack rating. Only downside, you gotta repair this now and then. You can't repair the charges with an Ord or rune. I don't even remember, but you gotta repair it for gold. There's one more upgrade possibility. If you really like this build and you're like, oh my god, man, I sold like 20 torches, what to do with the high runes? I show you one last version of this build, which you could do. I do not recommend it. This is plenty of damage. Like the Stormlash version it's perfectly fine. But you could upgrade one more. You could upgrade this build one step further. I hope this video won't get too long. You can make nothing less than a last wish. This frees up some item slots. Since you don't need as much Crushing Blow no more, you can get rid of the G-Phase. You don't need Life Tap from your gloves no more. You can use IIS, crafted preferably with martial arts skills gloves. You can get a Wisp Projector. This gets up to 20% lightning absorb, which at this point Uber Mephisto is a joke by now. I think even with players 3, if you get hit with a Conviction Aura, you still have 85% lightning resist. I'm still using the res. Yeah, I'm not joking. I think this is the best armor for this build. This would be the last upgrade you could do to this build, right? Inventory, again, like same old. Attack rating life, flat damage life, flat damage, attack rating. Well, that's pretty much it. As I probably mentioned 5 times already, I will add a little footage. The first clip you'll see is the boots upgrade, which is very important. You need to upgrade your boots. Yeah, I will add some clips, alright? So you actually see how I killed the Dclone with the budget setup and so on. If you have any questions about this, feel free to let me know in the comments below. And I also will upload a video on how to level the Assassin, actually, which is in my opinion the most the best possible way. Like Fire Trapper, Lightning Trapper, then you respec into kicks. That's what I do at least, every level reset, and I get a day 3, day 4 Uber kill with like casual playtime, like working full time and playing on the evening. Yeah, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments below. And yeah, with that being said, have a nice day, guys, and good luck on the torch rolls and on any rolls. Later.